Hi, so on this video, I will show you how I've created for a real estate agent an AI system that can call thousands of leads, especially real estate sellers. It can call them, it can qualify them, it can ask them questions about the property, and also it can book an appointment with them. And all of the data, it can automatically be logged into your CRM. And the most important thing is it can book an appointment. So you can see an appointment of an interested lead. Okay, so how this system works, I will first explain the roadmap of it and also the tools that we're gonna use. So all of this without needing you to pick up the phone. So also it can also program follow-up calls. For example, if a lead did not answer, it can automatically call him and program a follow-up call with him. Okay, we can call them for 7 days, for 10 days until they answer. Okay, and if they answer, they will not be called again, of course. Okay. Okay, so now let's do a test to the system and see how it works. I've sent now the call. I'm receiving the call.
Thanks for picking up. Hello, this is Sarah calling on behalf of your local real estate expert about your request for a free home evaluation from our Facebook ad. Does that ring a bell?
Not really. Can you please give me like more context so I can understand what this is about? Because I've filled out a lot of forms. So can you please remember me of what is this?
No problem at all. You filled out a quick Facebook form asking for a free property evaluation for your home. It's purely informational and there's zero obligation. Does that sound familiar?
Okay. Yes. So how that home evaluation works?
Absolutely. It's a quick, no pressure review of your home's value based on recent sales, market trends, and your property details. Then you get a clear price range and next steps if you want them. Would you like to start with a short phone consult or have our expert come by for a quick visit?
Uh, I will prefer to have first a call with the agent, then we can schedule a visit.
Got it. A quick call first is perfect. Could I grab the address you had in mind for the evaluation?
Uh, it's 123 Main Street.
Got it. Let me confirm. 123 Main Street. Is that correct?
Exactly, yes.
Great, thanks. Have you done any renovations or improvements in the last 5 years?
Not really. Just some improvements on the backyard.
Got it. Are you currently working with another real estate agent?
Nope.
Great. Are you thinking about selling potentially in the near future?
Yes, in about 4 months.
Got it. So about 4 months. What got you thinking about selling? Any specific plans after the move?
I'm just thinking to downsize.
Absolutely. Downsizing in about 4 months makes sense. Would you like to start with a quick phone call tomorrow with our local expert?
Yes?
Let me check that for you.
Okay.
Sorry, a few more seconds. Thanks for waiting. I can do tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning or 4:30 in the afternoon. Which works better for you?
The afternoon slot is good for me.
Let me check that for you.
Okay.
Got it. I've locked in tomorrow at 4:30 in the afternoon for your call. Would you like a confirmation text or a calendar invite?
Yes, I would like that. Okay, thank you so much. So now, as you can see, the agent has booked an appointment with me. If you go to the executions, you can see that it was executed. And also, let's go to my contacts, so as we can see everything that was logged on my contacts. Okay, you can see the call recording, you can see the appointment was booked, and all the other informations. So let's open this. So here's the appointment that was created. It's at 4:30 p.m., the exact time that I booked in. And also we have the call was logged here, okay? And also if we go to the notes, here's the notes, and this is the motivation to sell in, it's downsizing, the challenges, the keynotes, the name, the address, and everything. Okay, and by the way, for this format, we can change it on whatever you want. You can define what is the exact thing that you want to extract from the call data. So if you want to implement this into your own business and have a custom solution for your own use case, you will find a link in the description. Please book a discovery call with me so I can learn more about your business and about your use case, and I will help you implement this same solution for your business. So let me first start with the roadmap. Okay, so for the roadmap, we will first we will build the agent on Vapi. This is the first thing. We will create the prompt, we will configure Vapi, we will do all the configurations needed. Then we will import the phone number into Vapi. So the phone number is on Twilio, and we'll have the phone number on Twilio and automatically map it or import it into Vapi. Then we will create the automation to initiate calls, and this automation will be created on our GoHighLevel CRM. By the way, we will use GoHighLevel for our CRM because it gives us the possibility to create a very powerful and valuable workflows, especially when it comes for using some third-party agents. Okay, so I will show you how to create the workflow to initiate the call, and also how to have different triggers. For example, we will have the trigger once the lead comes from our Facebook ads. From our Facebook ads, we will automatically call him. Okay, then we'll create the function on Vapi to check availability and also book the appointments. And also I will show you how we will use this function on the prompt. Then we will build the backend of this function, which is an agent on n8n. We will use n8n to create that agent that will take care of checking the availability and also booking an appointment on our GoHighLevel. So it will book and check on our GoHighLevel calendar. Okay, so it's gonna be a very long video. So if you want to really learn the stuff, follow the video until the end. And also if you want any something similar, just go on the link that you will find on the description and book a discovery call with me so we can see how to implement the same thing for your business. Okay, so we will also test that booking. Okay, and then we will create another workflow on GoHighLevel to process the call data so we can determine if the call was answered or it's not answered. And also we can use this automation to log the call data into the CRM. You can listen to the recording, you can see, you can listen to the recording. Also you can see the notes of the call. We can log the notes about the call summary, and also the call transcript. And also if you want some specific data to be extracted, for example the number of the bedrooms or some specific data, and I will show you this everything on when I will demo. By the way, I will demo the whole solution before starting to create it. Okay, so again we have also will create this AI follow-up call workflow, and this workflow will be responsible for following up with the lead. If they don't answer, we will keep calling them until they answer, and then we will do the test, a whole test of the agent. Okay, so stay with me, and there is a lot of value that you will learn on this video. Okay, tools we have n8n that will be used for building the agent that will take care of booking and checking the availability, and we will use GoHighLevel for it, the CRM that we can use, and also we will use it for some other automations like I mentioned here. And also Vapi is the platform that we're gonna use for building our AI voice agents, and we will use Twilio as our telephone system. We will buy the phone number there and automatically import it into Vapi. Okay, I will show you how to do that on this video. Okay, so now let's create the assistant on Vapi. We'll first create the assistant. I will show you the prompt. I will show you also the Vapi configurations that I do, so it can sound more realistic. I will show you also the voice I'm choosing, and then we will try to just to integrate it to just initiate calls on GoHighLevel. We will not like do the processing, call automation and that stuff, just so I can be able to send calls to myself and test it. And then we will create the functions inside our Vapi so it can book and also check the availability on our GoHighLevel. Okay, so let's start blank template. Let's name it Outbound AI Voice Agent Sarah. I want real estate and create assistant. Okay, so now we have a very blank AI voice agent assistant on Vapi. The first thing is the prompt. Okay, so I already have the prompt that I've already created for a similar project and that we will use now. I will not create the prompt from scratch. Of course, you will have the prompt on the resources. You can find it on the description. And this is the structure I'm following for all the prompts of my AI voice agent that I'm creating. Okay, so I will just paste it here. Yes, so this is the prompt, and let's discuss the prompt section by section. So I love to structure my prompt in sections. So the first section we have the role, and there where we give like the role to the AI voice agent, and based on this role, the AI assistant, it will generate sentences, and it will generate the conversation. Okay, so we have the role here. You are Sarah, a friendly and skilled outreach specialist calling on behalf of a trusted real estate professional. Your expertise lies in engaging warmly with individuals who have expressed interest in a free home evaluation through Facebook ads. Yes, so as I said to you, this AI voice, it will call automatically a Facebook ad lead that requests a home evaluation, because in real estate, they do this free home evaluation to generate leads. Okay, so and since they have a lot of leads, so a lot of people fills out this form to actually get that home evaluation. So it will be so valuable to have this AI voice agent to call these leads as long as they come in. Okay, so we give it the role, okay, and then we give it the context, so it can understand what is this call is about. Okay, it should understand that we are making an outbound calls to homeowners who have requested a free home evaluation. We need to be more detailed about the context of this call and why we're calling them, what is the goal of this call, what is this like the user or the people that we are calling, who they are, and why we are calling them. Okay, and then we give it the objectives, and then we have the conversation rule section, and this where we describe to the AI how it should generate the conversation. For example, if you have any note about the conversation, you didn't like something, you can add this here on this section. As you can see, I'm telling him to include this I see, so it can sound more realistic, and it can be more human during the conversation. Okay, and also I'm saying to him to use short and natural sentences, and also to always be concise and go to the point directly, and not start hallucinating, because AI, if you don't tell it this to do it, it will just start hallucinating and talking too much, and we don't want that. Okay, so then additional notes about how the conversation should be. And now we have the conversation variation rules. So we don't want AI to use the same sentences multiple times during the conversation. For example, you will see when I will talk about the conversation steps where I define my script, I'm saying, does that ring a bell? But it should not say it again. Okay, because this is, I've added it once when I was testing. I find that AI, it repeats the same sentences during the conversation. So I'm giving it him here something to for the variation, so it doesn't use the same sentence multiple times. Okay, and then we have the specifics. I'm just describing to the AI that, for example, if on the prompt he find something like this, for example, 1.1.2, it should understand that this is a condition block. For example, this is a condition branch, and it should understand that this is a condition. Okay, and also if he finds something like this, it should understand that this is a variable. Okay, and then if he finds this symbol, it should understand that this is an actual instruction. Okay, and yes, also if he find some double quotes, so this is a sentence that should be said verbatim. Okay, and then we have the conversation steps, and here where I'm defining the script of my AI voice agent. We have the opening node, we have the qualifying sequence, and here where I'm describing the exact sentences and the exact script that this AI voice agent should follow. Okay, so it will first say hello, this is Sarah calling on behalf of agent name. So just to let you know that this AI voice agent is a lot used by agents, by real estate agents. They need this AI voice agent because it's their job. They do the home evaluation and that stuff, and we can change the value of this based on the agent name, and we will pass this value while we are initiating the call. We can give it the agent name. Okay, the real estate agent name. I'm not talking about the AI agent. Okay, so then we have the qualifying sequence. And here where we qualify the seller, we are asking some questions about the property address, and also we are asking questions about the property condition, and yes, just some qualifying questions as you can see here. And then we have the value proposition. So the AI will follow the section step by step on the conversation steps. Okay, it will follow step by step, and then the last thing we have the booking appointment section. And on this booking appointment, as you can see here, we are using some functions. Okay, so we are giving it some functions like a book appointment, like also we only have one function, book appointment, but it does the two jobs. It does the check-in availability and also it does the booking appointment. And I will show you how this works. Okay, don't worry about this later. But this is the prompt. And also we have the confirmation and scheduling, like how it should talk when confirming and scheduling, after like scheduling the appointment. And then we have the objection handling. Okay, also when we are testing, we can add another section named named notes. And on this notes we can like add, for example, if we see something that we didn't like, we can tell the agent the things that it should not do or it should do on this note section while we are testing. Okay, so now you've seen like how I'm structuring my prompt. You can do this on your specific use case. You can just copy this prompt and go to ChatGPT and describe to ChatGPT your own like use case, your own agent, what is the goal you wanted, and say to inspire from this prompt and to copy the style, and it will give you something similar but for your use case. Okay, and now this is for the prompt. Since this is an outbound AI voice agent, I don't like to have a first message. Okay, I will leave it. I will keep it blank. I want the assistant to wait for user. So we will call people, and people should pick the phone and say hi, hello. So it's them that they should talk first, okay? And then we will start talking. For the provider, I'm always using OpenAI, so let's use GPT-5. I find GPT-5 very, very good on how it handles the conversations. So let's publish this. And this is for the model, okay? I'm just keeping it like this for the voice. I really like two voices, two female voices. We have Kylie and we have also Spencer. So let's choose Spencer. This is the voice that I'm using a lot. Let's publish again. Additional configurations. Just keep this as it is. The transcriber, since we are just talking in English, so just keep it like this. If you want the agent to be multilingual and talk multiple languages, you can choose it here on the transcriber. So those are some codes or some it's some codes of different languages for the transcriber to transcribe the language you want. Okay, so for now I will just keep it English. For the tools, here we will add some tools. I will show you how to create the tool, how to create the background. We will have a background AI agent on n8n that will take care of checking the availability and booking the appointment, and it will be linked with Vapi with a tool that we will create. Okay, I will show this later. So for the predefined functions, always enable this end call function so the AI can have the ability to end the call whenever it's convenient. And for the custom functions, I don't have any custom functions. And here on the summary, so like we will want to have some, if you want the summary of the call, because for each call we have inside Vapi generates a summary of the call. If you want a specific format of this summary, if you want to yes, a specific format or a specific things to mention into the summary, you can tell that on the prompt. Okay, so you can tell it how exactly you want the summary to be, and it will generate that exactly. Okay, so then we have the structured data, and here where I am extracting data during the call, and we will do this on this agent. Okay, so we can have some structured data extracted from the call. I have here some example. For example, this is something that I did for a client. For example, let's have the property condition and update. So we want to know what the user said about the property condition. So let's add the property and put it here. And for the description, I will just copy this, okay? And let's see again. Okay, motivation to sell. We can also have this one. What is the motivation to sell? Because I guess we will ask this question on the script, like why you are planning to sell this property. Is it you want to downsize? Is it something else? So we want to like capture this information during the call. And what else? So let's see. Also interested. We want to know if he is interested on selling or not. Let's add the property here. Interested. Let's have a description. Okay. Okay, so now we're good to go. So let's just keep this fields to be extracted during the call. Let me see if we can do something else. Immediate repairs, occupation details. No. Okay, and also let's just add something else, for example, notes and challenges. For the description, so for the notes, I will say the description summarize the most important points shared by the caller about their motivation, needs, blah blah blah. And for the challenges, I will copy this one and put it here. Okay, so now let's publish this. So now this is the data that I want to extract on Vapi after each call. Okay, after each call, after each conversation, I want to extract those data. And they will be available when the Vapi will send us the call data to our GoHighLevel. Okay, and I will show you how to do it. For the voicemail detection, let's keep it Vapi recommended and let's publish. So if it's a voicemail, we need to end the call. Okay, for now for the messaging. Okay, so we will talk about this part later. So this is where we put the GoHighLevel link. Okay, so that Vapi can send the call data to that link, and we can define what are the specific data that we need to send. So we don't need to worry about this. So we'll just keep it as it is because we will change it later. And this is if we find some voicemail. If you want to change that on the voicemail, we can say something here. Okay, whatever you want. And also the end call message when he will end the call, we can change this to something else. Okay, so let's just keep this as it is. And now what we will do, we need to connect a phone number. Okay, and to connect a phone number, I always like work with Twilio to connect a phone number. And okay, so this is the Twilio dashboard, and in order to connect a phone number from Twilio on Vapi, it's easy. So just create a phone number, import Twilio. Let's define what phone number we want to do. Active. Let's go to active phone numbers. And if you don't have some phone numbers, just buy a number. Let's choose this one. So I will copy it. Okay, so it's already iOS. So there is the area code. It's already there. It's iOS, right? Okay, for the account SID. Let's go again to the account dashboard. We will copy the account SID, paste it here, copy this again, paste it here, give it a label, import from Twilio. So let's test if it's working. Or you know what? Let's test with an actual integration with GoHighLevel, okay? So let's go now to GoHighLevel and show you how to initiate calls from GoHighLevel and like this we can test if the phone number is working. Also test our agent, okay? Okay, so now we are on our GoHighLevel, and on GoHighLevel it's our CRM where all the leads will be, and I will show you how to initiate calls. For the trigger of because we create an automation especially for initiating calls, and this automation should have some different triggers. We can have different triggers. For example, a specific tag, if a specific tag was added, then the call will be initiated. Or for example, if we can connect our Facebook ads and we can connect our lead form on Facebook, and automatically if someone fills out the form, then the automation will be triggered and we will automatically call this lead. And now I will show you how to create this automation of initiating call, so we can call ourselves also, and to test the agent and also test if the phone number was working, okay? So the first thing I will do is I will create a new folder because we will have multiple automations that are gonna work together, so we can achieve what I showed you on the at the beginning of the video. So let's name this AI calls automation. And now the first automation we will create is to initiate call to Vapi. Let's create this automation. So let me explain how this works. So we have our GoHighLevel and we also have the Vapi. We've built the assistant in Vapi and we have our leads in GoHighLevel. So in order GoHighLevel to trigger Vapi to initiate the call, we need to send an HTTP request, and I will show you that HTTP request, how the payload is structured, what is the endpoint that we are using, and all the information. So the first thing that we need a trigger, so we can trigger this automation. As I said to you, we can have multiple triggers. For example, a contact tag. If you want once a specific contact, like we have a tag added to that contact, then this automation will be triggered. For example, I don't have much tags into this account, so I have those tags. So for example, let's say I've chosen some specific tag. Once this tag is added, this call will be triggered, okay? And also we have more other triggers. For example, let's say a Facebook form trigger. Facebook lead form submitted. So once a Facebook lead form submitted, this can be a trigger to the automation, and we can call this lead as soon as they fills out the form. So for me, let's just keep it a tag. Contact tag, add feature, and let's create a new tag. Okay, I will name it to call, add a new tag. Okay, so once this tag is added to the lead, this automation will start. So the first step of this automation is to actually format the phone number, okay? We have the number formatter, and we will do format phone number because we want to be sure that the phone number of that contact is in correct format. I mean by correct format, it should have the country code. This is so important because some people, when we have the phone number of the leads, we don't have the country code, so we need to adjust this to always have a country code. And how we do that? We say to format, we specify the format. This is the format that is acceptable by Vapi. If we have a different format, the HTTP request will not work and the call will not be initiated because this is the format that is accepted on the Vapi side. So let's choose it, and we should specify a country code, and we will because I'm from Morocco and I want to call myself, I will choose Morocco and save the action. Sorry, and also I should choose the field where the phone number is located, and it's here, it's on the contact, and click on phone and save action. Let's save again. So now the next thing is we need to have I forgot the name. Yes, it's the drip mode. We need to have a drip node, and what this drip do is we send leads in batches, because let's say, for example, 1000 leads are in this automation. I mean, for example, we've added that tag to 1000 leads, so all those 1000 leads should be on this automation, and we should execute this automation on those 1000 leads. And we can't send those 1000 leads to Vapi. If we send 1000 HTTP requests to Vapi, it will not work. So we need to send in batches, because Vapi only allow a certain concurrent calls number. We can't call 1000 leads at the same time. We should, for example, call 20, then wait for some minutes, then call 20, then we will go like that, okay? And we can't call 1000 leads. So for example, if you are working with a client and this client has a lot of leads, if you just for example, you didn't do this node, and you directly go and add the HTTP request, oh no, it's the webhook, yes, custom webhook. So this is how we send the HTTP request. If you directly go and did this node, it will not work, because we cannot send 1000 HTTP requests and it will break. We shouldn't do that. And what we do is instead is we have this drip node. So we can send leads in batches, and we can define, for example, let's say 20 leads for every 8 minutes. Okay. So this is how I work. And it depends. For example, on retail AI, for example, it only allows for 20 calls at the same time. I think it will be the same for Vapi. So let's do 15 leads to pass this node every 8 minutes. Okay. So now we are sure that we only send 15 HTTP requests every 8 minutes. Okay. So let's now do the webhook, custom webhook, and let us explain you what is all of this. So this is an HTTP request, and we are sending on the method, we are sending post. It's a post request, and we are sending a payload. I will show you the structure of the payload that we are sending to this specific endpoint. So let me show you how it works. So let's go to the Vapi API requests on the documentation, so you can understand what I'm talking about. API reference, this. So let's click on API reference. So we have list calls and we have create a call. So this is the API documentation, and it tells us how we can send API requests to Vapi. So if I click to create call, so this is the creating call, how we can create call with API on the API reference documentation of Vapi. So as you can see here, here is the HTTP request or the endpoint that we should use. So let me just copy this and I will paste it here on the GoHighLevel. Okay, so now I have the post method for the authorization. We will choose bearer token for the authorization, and we need to create a new key. And let's now get the API key from GoHighLevel or from Vapi. So we will just need to go here and go to the API keys and copy this key. Copy this key, and we'll be good to go. Let's go here on tokens, create a new key, and I will just paste it here and I will name it Vapi key. Create. Never. Okay, so now we have the API key, we have the endpoint, so we just need the raw body, and here where we are sending the payload that Vapi expect in order to initiate call. So let's go to create call and let's see what is the body that Vapi expects. So as you can see, we have here the request. This is the fields, or this endpoint expects an object with, this is a list of objects like customers. We have the name, we have, but all these are not like required. So I will show you what is the payload that I'm sending to Vapi in order to work. So let me show you here. So this is it. So we have the customer, we have the phone number ID, the assistant ID, the customer with, it's an object that has a number. I only send the number, and let me show you what we should change based on our agent. Okay, so first we have the phone number ID. So I will send you this also, this payload on the resources, so you can find it. Okay, so we have the phone number ID. Let me go to my Vapi. So this is my phone number, and I will just copy the phone number ID and I will replace it here. For the assistant ID, I will go to my assistant and choose the, let me see, is it this one? Yes, so let's just choose this one. I will remove this one, delete. And copy the assistant ID, you can find it here on the top. Copy and paste again here. For the customer, it's the number formatter one result. It will be the result of this node. This is the format for number. Let me show you how to do it. I will delete it. I will click on custom values, go to number formatter, click on format number one and result. That's it. For the first name, I need to map the contact first name. The same thing, I will go to custom values, click on contact, click on first name. I will do the same for all of this. Email, I'm also sending the phone number, contact ID, and for the address, so this is the address of the property, for example, that we want to sell, or that the seller wants to sell, and we should find it, or we can have some custom fields named, for example, the address, or for just this video I will just map this one, address one, seller full name, contact name, and the phone number. Okay, so as you can see, those are variable values, and to understand what are the variable values is we are sending some variable values that can be automatically replaced on the prompt or on the script. For example, if we go to our assistant, and if I go here, for example, the agent name. The agent name, it's a variable. And in order to give it a value, I should copy it. I should copy this. And all the variables are between two brackets. I should copy this and I should add agent name so it can have a value. Okay, so let's do this, this, and this, and I will give it, for example, John. So John is my agent name, and don't forget to do a comma here so that the JSON should be correct. So always be sure that this JSON is correct in the correct format. Okay, if there is some problems, just copy it, put it on ChatGPT, and tell him and tell to correct it in the correct JSON format. So the most important thing here to send is the first name, the email, the agent name, the phone number, the contact ID, the street name. Also, maybe this we will need it, phone number. So I'm just sending as much data as I can because maybe later we will need it. Okay, but for the script, on the script we have here is the variables that we have. We have the agent name and the address, so I should make sure that it exists here. So it doesn't exist, so I will just remove the street name and replace it with the address. So let's see again what are all the other variables that we have. So let's go to the script. We have the agent name, we have the address also. Okay. So we have the name. So it should be the full name. So I will go here and replace the seller full name. So I guess you understand now what we are doing. We should, the variables mentioned here, I mean like the variables, those that are between brackets, it should be the same spelling here when we are sending those values. The first key should be the same spelling. For example, the name. So now whatever came here, it will be automatically replaced on the script here. Okay. And the agent name, we already have that. So let me fix something. So let's just all keep it lowercase. The same thing here. So this is gonna take a time. So I will pause until I finish the script and get back to you. Okay, so now we have the first name in lowercase, the agent name in lowercase, and also the name in lowercase, and also I've updated the script so the variables are all in lowercase. Okay, so don't worry about the time, it will be automatically replaced based on the time that we've booked. Okay, because this script is on the confirmation scheduling after we book the call. Okay, so I think all is good. And let's save action. No, not from here. So let's save action. Save. And we'll be good to go. So now let's see if I have a contact with my name so we can test. Okay, so I have here Hussam. Okay, so let me show you what you should do so it can work on you. So now I've saved this. I will go and create a new contact with your own informations, and we can test with that contact. We can send calls to that specific contact. So as you can see here is my contact with my phone number, and in order to have a contact to test with him with your own information, just create a new contact and put your own information. Okay, so for me I will go here. Since I already have my contact, I need to adjust something here. Okay, let me verify if this is Morocco. Okay, good. So let's save and let's test the workflow, and let's see if there is some errors. So this is why this video is good. So we will see if there is some errors and we will fix them live. So I've sent now the call. Let's go to the execution logs. I didn't receive anything, so there is some problem, and let's see what happened exactly. Okay, this was executed. So let's go. So on the GoHighLevel, everything working good, but on Vapi, I didn't receive the call. So let's go to Vapi. It was my problem. I've put my phone on airplane mode, but let me try again. And now I guess it should work. So let's run test. Let's see if I will receive the call. Okay, so now I'm receiving the call. So let's answer to it. So the phone number is working good. Hello.
Hi there, this is Sarah calling on behalf of your local real estate expert. You requested a free home evaluation through our Facebook ad. Does that ring a bell?
I don't remember that really. When I did that.
No worries at all. You filled out a quick form on Facebook for a free property evaluation. There's no obligation. Are you still interested in getting that info?
Yes, I've remembered now. So What is this about? Can you explain it more for me, please? So don't
Absolutely.
worry
It's a
about
free, no
the
obligation
latency. It's
estimate
just
of what
because
your
I'm
home
from
could sell
Morocco
for
and there is a
today,
latency. But
plus
if I
insights
call
on
in
recent
US
sales
people,
and buyer
it will be
demand
less
in your
latency than
area.
this.
Would you like to start with a quick phone call or
Sorry,
have a
sorry,
professional stop
I
by?
was not listening. Can you please say it again, please?
Got it. It's a free, no obligation estimate of what your home could sell for today, plus recent sales and market trends near you. Would you like to start with a quick call or prefer an in-person visit?
Oh, yes, I guess this is good. So yes, when we can do this?
Great. Do you have a couple minutes now so I can grab a few details and set it up?
Of course, yes, go ahead.
Perfect. Let me confirm the address we have on file. What's the full property address?
123 Main Street.
Let me confirm 123 Main Street. Is that correct?
Yes, it's 123 Main Street.
Got it. Let me confirm 123 Main Street. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly.
Great, thanks. Have you done any renovations or improvements in the last 5 years?
No, not really. Okay, so now it will continue asking me the questions. I don't want to test all the agent right now. So for if we see some latency, it's just because I'm receiving the call here in Morocco, and it will be more latency than if I'm calling on some US number. Okay, and also about the address, like it should normally we should have the address into the CRM, so it should not ask for the address since we already have it. It should only confirm it with the contact. So since we don't have the address on my contact informations, that's why I didn't did that. Okay, so let's see what the field that contains the contact. Okay, address, contact address one. So I will go to the contact and I will add my address. So on the future calls, it should only confirm the address with me. So for the address, okay, so I will just put it here. I will say 123 Main Street. Okay, let's save, and I will go here. Instead of mapping the address one, I will map my own address, the address that I've added. Contact full address or street address. I think it's street address. Because I will just put this and save action. Okay, so now great. So we've created an automation to initiate call. So let's name it initiate AI call, and it's working good. The agent also working good. The phone number is working good. So now let's see how to create automation to process the call data. So after the call is ended, or no, sorry, we will go now and create the functions. We will create the agent that is responsible of checking the availability and also booking the appointment. And also we will see how we can add this agent into our function on our Vapi, and then we'll see how to create the functions to log the call data and update it on GoHighLevel. Okay. Okay, so now I will go and create the function or the tool that is responsible of checking the availability and also booking the appointment. So how I will do that? First, I will go to the tools and create the tool, and then I will explain how I'm using it inside my prompt. So on my prompt, as I showed you earlier on the booking appointment section, I will explain what is this book appointment, what is the requested time to tomorrow, and set appointment action. So I will explain all of this after I'm creating the tool here, and then I will explain what is the backend agent that is on these tools. Okay, so we have this agent that is working behind those functions, and it's responsible of creating the appointment here, with an HTTP request on GoHighLevel, and also get available slots based on the requested time by the user. Okay, so don't get overwhelmed. I will try to explain this better. So let's go to the tools. Great, so let's go to the tools and create a new tool. Okay, so let's name it. It's the name that I will choose. Book appointment. For the description, I already have a description ready. Okay, so here is the description. This function connects to the scheduling agent in init-n. So we have a scheduling agent in init-n, as I showed you. Here is it. So and is used for two purposes: check availability and book appointment. Okay, this function interrupts natural language requested time. So this function, it should get the requested time, and also it should define the appointment action. And the appointment action have two possible values: the check availability and also the book appointment function value. Okay, so those are the two values that are possible. And for now we need to create the parameters. The parameters means like the data that we want to extract, that this function should extract. Okay, and the data that we want to extract, as I say to you, the requested time and also the appointment action. The requested time will contain like the specific time. It can be a specific time or a window time that we want to either check availability or book an appointment. For example, tomorrow or tomorrow morning, or for example, tomorrow at 11 a.m. So those are the requested times. And then we have the appointment action, which is check availability or book an appointment. So of course, on the script, as I showed you, we will first check availability and then we will book the appointment. So we will first like have a requested time on with check availability action, and then after like the appointment time or the requested time is confirmed with the user and it's available, then we will send another request to book that appointment with the appointment action is book appointment. Okay, so let's go to the parameters, and I will first create the requested time. And then we have the description here. Okay, so the requested time is the natural language time provided by the user. When appointment action check availability, this can be either a window. Okay, so let me again create another. I will explain this later after I created the second parameter or the second property, which is the appointment action. Okay, let me change this. Appointment action, and for the description, okay, so this defines the action to perform check availability or book appointment, and those are the allowed values, either check availability or book appointment. So why what I'm doing this, so I can explain what I'm doing exactly. So whenever we want to execute this function, we have two options: either for checking the availability or either for booking the appointment. And when it's check availability, we need to have a requested time. So the AI should, from the conversation, determine what is the requested time that we want to check the availability. So if it's checking availability, the requested time can be a window or a specific time, as I'm saying here. When appointment action is check availability, this can either a window, for example, tomorrow, Monday evening, so it's not a specific time, or also it can be a specific time, for example, August 15 at 3 p.m., or for example, tomorrow at 3 p.m. This is a specific time. But tomorrow, Monday evening, this is a window time, okay? So when we are checking the availability, we want to check the availability for a window time. So it should consider that. But if the appointment action is book appointment, so we want to book an appointment, we need a requested time that is a specific confirmed time. Okay. For example, tomorrow at 10 p.m., a specific requested time. And also I'm specifying this into the prompt, and I will show you the prompt later. So those are the two parameters that I need. So on the function, we have two parameters, but we also have a third parameter that is required on this automation that I'm gonna show you, which is also the contact ID. Because if you remember, when we are initiating the call on the GoHighLevel, we also send the contact ID. And in order to book an appointment with that contact, we need the contact ID to actually book the appointment. I will show you how to get that contact ID from the execution of the function, okay? So on the server setting, so now we need the server URL, which is the URL that this function should be executed, which will be our backend automation or our backend agent. So we should go to the webhook. So you will get this automation. I will be sure to send it to you, and you will find it on the resources. So I will copy this test URL and put it here. And then after we configure everything, then we will go to the production URL. But for now, for just testing, let's copy this one and put it here. Okay, so now we created a function that during the conversation, it should take two parameters from the conversation. The requested time, for example, let's say I want to book tomorrow, and it should check for the availability. So it will automatically take on the requested time tomorrow, and on the appointment action, check availability, and it will be sent to that URL. And then the work begins on the webhooks. After we receive that data, also we will be receiving the contact ID on the function, and I will show you how. Then this automation will work, and I will explain this automation after I finish this. So now we have this function, and let me save it. You understand it now that we have two parameters, the requested time and the appointment action. Now we can understand the prompt that I've created, okay? So here is how it works. Let me go to the booking appointment. So we say this sentence, and then automatically, without asking the user, we should check for the availability for tomorrow, because we always, for example, we should not like suggest for we should not ask the user for his available time at the beginning. We should suggest some available times. Okay, so we will check the availability for tomorrow, and here is the step one: check availability for tomorrow. And I am saying use the book appointment tool. So here is the tool that we've created. I'm saying to use this tool and set requested time, like the first parameter, to tomorrow, and also to get available slots for tomorrow, and also set appointment action to check availability. So it will send the request with requested time as tomorrow, and also it will check for the availability on the appointment action. Okay, so we will get the available slots on tomorrow. And then the step two is to read the tool results. So it will analyze the available times on tomorrow, and then it will suggest with this sentence. So it will say, okay, I can do the time, for example, tomorrow at 11 a.m. or tomorrow at 6 p.m. Okay, so this is how it works. Then if the user picks one of these slots, like if the user like chooses it, for example, it says, okay, tomorrow at 11 a.m. is good, then we will call again the appointment action, but this time the appointment we will call the book appointment tool, but this time the appointment action will be book appointment, and it will book that appointment, and on the requested time it will be the time chosen by the user. Then we have the step three. So the step three, if for example the user didn't want to book on the suggested times here, so then we will ask the user about his requested time, and then we will check for the availability, as I'm saying here. So I'm sorry, those times aren't available. And also step three, if no slots tomorrow or the user is not available for suggested time, so it will tell that I'm sorry, like the time requested is not available, and it will ask for the requested time again. When would you like to book your appointment? So then use the user's answer as a requested time with book appointment tool, and set appointment action to check availability. We will use the requested time by the user as a requested time, and we will execute the function again to check the availability. So just take your time and read this prompt, and you will understand it clearly how it works. And also once you understand these two parameters, how they work, you can easily change this on whatever works best for you. Okay, so now I've explained how I'm using it on the prompt. So let's say what happens on the back end, okay, with this automation. So first thing, we have this agent that has these three tools. We have the convert to epoch milliseconds, we have get slots, we have create appointment. Three tools. But the tools that are interacting with GoHighLevel, it's the create appointment tool and also the get slots tool. And also I have a prompt that describing how we should use all of these tools. Okay, so but let's first explain the first node. So as soon as we get the data from the function, we get the requested time and appointment action. The second thing we do is we are executing this function or this tool, which contains the API key of our GoHighLevel, and we are defining the location ID and the calendar ID. So this appointment booking agent, it should be like specified and configured for a specific calendar on GoHighLevel, and we will do that by giving it an API key of the actual sub account, the calendar ID of that calendar that we want to book in, and also the location ID. So we are giving those values there because we will need it when utilizing this functions or this HTTP requests. Okay, then we have the agent, and on the agent we have the user message and also the system message. So the user message is like the information that we get from the user, which is the requested time, as I said to you, and the appointment action, and also the calendar ID. So as we can see here, the calendar ID is hard coded, so I'm giving it my calendar ID. Why? Because I want to first test on the Vapi platform. Because if I'm testing on the Vapi platform, I don't have the calendar ID because I'm not initiating the calls from GoHighLevel. When I'm initiating the calls from GoHighLevel, then I have the calendar ID or the contact ID, and then I can send that contact ID to the agent. But if I was just testing on the Vapi side, on the Vapi platform, I don't have the contact ID. So I'm just for now passing it here, just in testing purposes. Once we go live, I will remove this and I will automatically replace the contact ID from the results of the function that we get. Okay, so let's just keep this as it is and let's go to the system message. So I want you to take time and read this agent prompt. It's a very, very long prompt that explaining exactly how to work with the functions. So the first thing I'm saying is what are the inputs. So for the inputs here, as I said, we have the requested time. So we already get it on the user message. So I'm explaining the inputs. We have the requested time, we have the appointment action, we have the contact ID also, and also I'm giving also the current time. Where we need the current time, the agent should know what is the current time. So for example, when the user said tomorrow at 10 a.m., it should know what is tomorrow at 10 a.m. And the only way to know that is by having a reference, which is the today's time. Okay, I can't know what is tomorrow at 10 a.m. if I don't know what is the current time. Okay, so I'm giving it the current time by this variable, and like that he can dynamically calculate what is tomorrow at 10 a.m. and it can convert that to a valid date or a valid format of a date that can be used on the functions, and I will talk about that later when I'm explaining those functions, those two functions. Okay, so now let's go back again, and here I'm explaining or describing the tools that I have. So first we have the get slots. Okay, so this tool accepts two fields, which is the start epoch ms and end epoch ms. And what are these two fields is the start date that we want to have to get the available slots in, and the end date. And this start date and end date are in a specific format, which is the epoch milliseconds format, because on GoHighLevel they only expect that format on get slots. If we go to GoHighLevel documentation, GoHighLevel documentation API reference, Okay, let's just click on API so I can show you what are the API that I'm using. Again, on get slots, as you can see, the start date and end date must be in epoch milliseconds. So this is so important. So here is the endpoint of checking the availability, but don't worry about this. I will talk about it later. So let's go to the API. Okay, so as you can see here, here is the API documentation of GoHighLevel. And if we go, I guess, to calendars, yes, so get free slots. On the get free slots API request, if we check for what they accept, you can see that we have the start date and the end date. And important, you can see that the example it's in a different format, and they specified what is the format that they accept. It's an epoch milliseconds format. Okay, so that's why we need to say to the agent to it should convert anytime that he wants to check the availability to an epoch millisecond format. Okay, and to do that, so AI it's not actually good at converting. It can convert to an ISO format like this one. Let me show you. Like this one. So this is an ISO format, a valid ISO format. Okay, so it can convert to that specific format, but to an epoch millisecond format, it's not accurate, and it doesn't always convert it right always. So what I'm doing is I'm using this tool, which it uses that ISO format and convert it to epoch milliseconds. Okay, so those are the tools that I'm using. Let me go back to the tools. We have the convert ISO to epoch milliseconds. We have the create appointment that accepts the contact ID, and as I'm saying, we already passed the contact ID and also the start time ISO, and we are and then I'm defining the action routing, for example. So if the appointment action is check availability, it should go to section A. So we can explain to the agent what it should do based on each appointment action. And also if the appointment action is book appointment, then it should go to the section B. On the section A, first it will classify the request time. Then it will build the target window. For example, if I say, for example, I want to check availability for tomorrow at 10 a.m. What I will do is I will get all the slots of tomorrow and then compare and see if that time is available. So please just read this whole prompt. It's hard for me to explain all of it. It will take too much time, but the prompt is very, very structured, and you can just read it and explain how it works. So now let's go to explain the tools that we have. Of course, for the chat model, it's the OpenAI chat. And we have the first tool, which is get slots. And as I said to you, we have the start date and end date. The start date is provided by the model, so it should be determined by the model, and also the end date, it should be determined by the model. Okay, and also we are passing the calendar ID here on the URL, because so we can know what is the calendar that we want to get the free slots on. So I'm automatically passing the variable of the calendar ID. And then we have this is for the get slots. Then we have for the create appointment, it's a post method. Here is the description. Also, I forget to mention the description for the get slots. So I'm saying get appointment slots, and important start date and end date must be epoch milliseconds. Okay, then we have this tool that helps convert the start date and end date from ISO format to epoch milliseconds. Okay, so I'm using this tool. So this tool it's so important, because if we don't do it, we can't convert to epoch milliseconds, and this will lead to booking on some random times, and it will not work good. Okay, so then we have the create appointment tool. Here's the URL, and we give it the authorization. We are mapping the API key that we get on the first step, which is this one, where we are setting those values on these variables. And then we have the create appointment, and also we are given the calendar ID. Also, we are giving it from the setting node, and you have the location ID, and the contact ID will be defined by the model because we are passing it on the user message. We are passing the contact ID. Okay. And yes, that's it. So those are the tools that I'm using for the start date and end date. Like if we want to book, we just use the start time, like the specific time we want to book, and it's automatically defined by the model. But on the start time for this endpoint, it's okay to use the ISO format. We should use the ISO format, and it will not accept the epoch milliseconds. So all of these details, like how it should define the value of the start time, and all of those details are all explained on the prompt, on the system prompt. So go and read the system prompt and you will understand how it works exactly. Okay, so now let's test this and let's see if it's working. But before that, we need to get those informations. So first, let's go to my GoHighLevel account, and I will go to the calendars. Okay, so now let's, for example, choose, go to the settings and go to calendars, and here is, let's choose this one. Let's edit this calendar, and you can find here the calendar ID. Let's copy it. I will copy it and go back to my agent and put it here. And then for the location ID, here is the location ID. You can find it on the URL at the top. Let me copy it. I will paste it back here, and then we have the API key. So I will go to the settings again, go to the settings, click on settings, and then we go to the private integration. This is private integrations. Private integrations, and then we have the, let's create a new key. I'm waiting for, so it can load. Okay, because I have a lot of keys, so now I will create a new key, and I will name it Vapi or booking agent. Next, for the scopes, I will give all the calendar scopes: edit calendar, view calendar, event, edit calendar, view calendar, group. I will write again calendars, calendar, edit calendar. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, so I've checked everything. So now let's also give it some contacts, just in case. Okay, create, copy, and let me go back again to the API key, and now we're good to go. So now I've mapped all the GoHighLevel data. So now let's test everything. So we have the create appointment, the calendar ID, or the contact ID. I'm passing it, I'm hard coding it on into the prompt. So let's execute everything. Okay, so let's go to the test. First, don't forget that we have just created the tools here, but we still need to map it into the assistant. So go to the tools and click on book appointment and publish. So now let's move to test the agent. Okay, so now let's test, and how I'm doing testing. So I will make sure that the link is there on the tool. Let's go to the tools, book appointment. Let's go to the server, so the link is there. It's a test link. Okay, so let's test if I'm linking the tool. Okay, so now let's test with chat, and I just want to book an appointment. So let's book appointment. So now we are fixing issues live and see what was the problem. Okay, you see now we get the data. I'm not sure why the first time it wasn't working. So now it's working. So now we get the data here, and let me show you how we get the data. So we have the headers and we have the body, and what I'm caring about is the parameters, or no, on the body. On the body, if you go to message and tool calls, on the arguments, you can find the requested time and appointment action. Okay, so normally when we are initiating the calls from GoHighLevel, we can find also on the assistant, we can find the variable values, and on those variable values we can find the contact ID here, and then we can automatically map the contact ID on the user message. Okay, so for now let's just execute this step again so we can get the data here, and execute again this. Okay, so let me remove this one, and I should search for the requested time here value. Let me do this. Okay, on the body, tool calls, here it's requested time, so I will just map this and put it here. So now automatically the requested time will be replaced here, and also the appointment action. And when we are dealing with phone calls, because now I'm just testing on Vapi, we will find also the contact ID, and I will automatically map it here. But for now, because I'm just testing on the chat, I will just put my contact ID here. And let me actually change this one to my actual contact ID on this account. So let's go and search for my contact ID so it can book on my contact ID. Because if I didn't give it the contact ID, it will not work. Let's search for the contacts and search for my own contact ID. So here is my contact. And here you can find, here is my contact ID. So I will just take my contact ID and put it here. So then it will book all my existing contacts, and also check, for checking availability, it will not need the contact ID, it will only need it for the booking appointment. So okay, now we are good to go. So let's execute this. So we have the requested time tomorrow and check availability. So normally now it should go and check the availability for tomorrow. Okay, and if we see the prompt, how I've prompted it, like when it checks for the availability, it should not say all the available times. It should only suggest 2 times, and you will I'm specifying this on the prompt, so it will do the same thing. Let's execute this step. You see, so it first converts to epoch milliseconds, then it will get the slot, and then it will give me the response. So you can see the executions of all the functions. Okay, so now if I click on this, here's the output. I check it tomorrow for you. For the earliest I have is 12 p.m. and the latest is 3:30 p.m. So this is based on my calendar. And also I want to make sure something. So please make sure that you have the same time zone. So for this, I have the time zone of EDT, but on the prompt, you should change so it can be adaptable for your own time zone, okay? Okay, so now I have the result here, and then I will just map the result into the response, okay? So now I guess everything is working good, so I will just save, okay? And let's test again everything. I will execute the workflow, go back to my agent, and I will say try again, please. So to make sure that everything is working. Okay, so now I will get, see, I get the payload or the function data. So now it will check for tomorrow, and then it will get the slots. If we click on that, you can see that it converts to the epoch milliseconds. We have the start date and the end date. And also if we go to this, you will see that I'm converting. Here's the first run. I'm converting from tomorrow because I'm checking the availability from 8 EM, and as you can see, it's in this time zone, -4. Okay, make sure that you've configured you make sure that you configured it to your own time zone. Okay, so this is for the first, and the second it's in the evening at 8 p.m. Okay, so now let's see the response. So as you can see, we have here the call booking appointment function. Then we have the response here. I check it for tomorrow, and you got it tomorrow. I can do 8 a.m. or 11:30 a.m., which works best for you. Okay, so yes, so let's for example say I want to book. So we can also test the create appointment. Okay, let's say I want to book at 8 a.m. Let's see the executions. So it was executed. You see that the create appointment booking was executed, and here is the response. Perfect, I've logged you in for 8 a.m. So one thing that I want to mention, since my GoHighLevel time zone, it's different than the EDT time zone, so it will book on 8 a.m. EDT, but if we see the appointment created on my contact, you see it's 1 p.m. It's 1 p.m. in my own time zone here in Morocco, which is GMT +1. So even though I booked for 8 a.m., but it's an 8 a.m. of EDT, which is equivalent to 1 p.m. on GMT. So what I can recommend you is to configure the time zone of your GoHighLevel. It's the same of the time zone that you give on the prompt, okay? So now we've seen that the appointment booking was working good. And please let me know if you have any questions about this in the comments. I will be very happy to answer to them, okay? Okay, so now we have two different time zones on n8n and on GoHighLevel. So that's why when I booked at 8 a.m., it automatically converts that into this GoHighLevel time zone. So if we want to have the two systems with the same time zone, because if we go to the prompt, and let's see what time zone it uses. If you go here, time zone, use the system configured time zone for all calculations and user face times, okay? And the system time zone, it's in today. And if we go to the system time zone on n8n, let's click on the settings. Actually, not the settings, but go to the admin panel. Let's open this. And go to manage, and here you will find the system time zone. Okay, so we need to have this exactly like the GoHighLevel. So since I have the GMT +1, I will just use the GMT, not okay, it's Casablanca. Okay, and let's save changes, confirm. Okay, great. So now the system or the agent will automatically use the same time zone that GoHighLevel uses. So if I said I want to book at 8 a.m., it will book on 8 a.m. with my time zone, okay? So let's go back to n8n. And now as you can see, the booking function is working good. So the next step is now to create the automation on GoHighLevel so we can get the call data and log back the call data into our GoHighLevel. We will log the recording, we can listen to the recording inside GoHighLevel. We can log notes about the call inside GoHighLevel, and also we can have the call summary, and also I will show you how to do if you want some specific or to extract some specific data, okay? And then we will have also another automation for follow-up calls. Let's say we want, if someone did not answer, we will automatically follow up with him and call him after 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, depending on what you want, okay? Okay, great. So now I've showed you how to create this automation to initiate calls. Now let's create the automation to process the call, okay? So let's start from scratch. I will start from scratch. So I've already built the automation, so I will just build it again with you, okay? So let's create a new blank automation. Let's name it, okay, let's name it process call data, okay? And the first thing we need on the trigger, it will be an inbound webhook, okay? So let's create this inbound webhook and I will explain what it means, okay? So the inbound webhook, it's actually a link, okay, that we will copy and we will give it to Vapi, okay? And we will say to Vapi, okay, please for each call, send to this link the call data, okay? So I'm gonna copy this URL and go to my Vapi. Yes, so I will copy the URL and go to my Vapi. Here is the Vapi, and I will pass this URL exactly here. So go to advanced and search for messaging, click on the messaging and put the link here, okay? So like that, Vapi, for each call, it will send the call data on that URL, and we will be able to know if the call was answered. We will have the call summary. We will have all the data that we need. Okay, so let's actually test this. So in order to continue, for example, if I click to save trigger, it will not work. So GoHighLevel says to us, I want a sample data, okay? I want an example of the request that you will get on this link so we can be able to continue the automation. So what I will do is I will go and do a test call, okay? And once I did the test call, then we will receive the call data here, we will receive the sample, and it will be good to go, okay? So let's go and initiate a call. Let me initiate a call to myself. Okay, and run test. So now I'm receiving the call. I will answer. Hello. Hi.
Thanks for picking up. Hi, this is.
Thank you so much. Bye. So now I just want to receive the call here. Okay. So now if I click on fetch samples and select reference payload, let me check for new requests. So I didn't save it. Okay, yes, you see, I didn't publish. So Vapi didn't have the URL. So let's publish and let's try again. So I will just initiate the call and end the call immediately. Run test, wait for the call. Here is the call. Hello?
Thanks for picking up. Hi, this is Sarah calling on behalf of your local
Okay,
real
thank
estate.
you. So let's see now if I will receive this call data. I will check for new request. Oh, okay. So now you can see that there is so many requests. So I will choose this one. Let me choose the most recent one. And here, this is all the call data. As you can see, we have every data that we need. For example, let me give you an example. So this is the variables that we get from when we was initiating the call. So we get the address, we get the contact ID, and we need the contact ID so we can find the contact and actually log the call data, log the call recording on that specific contact. Okay. Also, we have here some other informations. We have the number, we have we will have also the call summary. Okay, so let's save the trigger, and the next step, okay, so let's just do save action. Okay, so let's do first name and do contact first name. So just keep this as it is. Okay, let's do also the phone. Let's actually remove this. I will remove it. Okay, so as I've showed you, if you see on the requests that we've received, so this all the payloads that we received, you see it's a lot of requests, but we don't actually need all of those events, okay? Because if we go to Vapi and if we go to the server settings, we will see that on the server messages, we have a lot of events that we are sending, or a lot of type of data that we are sending. We don't need all of this, so let's just deactivate all of this, and we will only keep the end of call report one. Okay, we will only keep this one. So let me do this. Okay, yes, so now everything is good. Yes, so I will only keep this end of call report, and I will click on publish. Okay. And also here, I need to search, it should be an end of call report. You see the type, it's a status update, but I need the end of call report. If I didn't find it, and if I didn't find it, I will need to call myself again. Okay, so where is it? End of call report. So choose the one that has the type end of call report and save the trigger. Okay, so let's save again. So now the next step is we need to filter. We want to have only phone calls. Okay, we don't want to have some other. For example, let's say I'm testing on the Vapi platform, and I'm testing by just testing on the platform. So after the call is ended, I don't want to get the data and update on some specific contact, because there is no contact. I was just testing on the Vapi platform. I want to this automation work only if the call was initiated from the GoHighLevel and it's a phone call. So that's what I will do. So it's not filter, it's if or else, yes. And just do if I will do like this. Yes, so I will just copy the action name. I will put it like this, and I will say if the call is an outbound call. Okay, so this is the first branch of this condition node. Okay, so we have if the call is an outbound call, and the non branch, this means that if the call was not an outbound phone call. And how we will do it is I will go here on this, and I will search for inbound webhook trigger so I can get what I've received on the call data, and then I will choose the call, and I will choose type. Okay, you see, I will go again, I will click on the call and click on the type. So like this, I will receive the type of the phone call. Okay, and I will say is, and I will put this one. Okay, so it should always check for the call data that he receives, and it should this condition should match so we can continue. The type of the call should be an outbound phone call, and then we will save. The next thing is to actually find the contacts. Okay, I need to find, once it's a phone call, I need to find the contacts. And the way I do that is by the contact ID. If you remember, I'm sending the contact ID when I was initiating the call. So when I'm sending the lead to Vapi, I'm also sending the contact ID, as you can see it here, you see? So now I need to receive back that contact ID so I can find the contact. Okay, let's go to assistant and go to variable values. Here is the variable values and here is the contact ID. So now we're good to go. Save. So now if the contact is found, then we will go to the next step. The next step will be, okay, so don't worry about this. So the next step is we need to figure out if the call was answered or not. So if it was answered, then it's good. We will need to log the notes and log the recording URL. If it was not answered, then we should send follow-up calls. Okay, so let's click on if and else again, and I will just copy this. So I will name this node call this position, and the first branch will be if no answers or voicemails. And how I know that is by checking a field on the payload that I get on from Vapi. Okay, so if I go again on the inbound debug trigger, and if I go to message, and if I go to end the reason, so this will tell me what is the reason that this call was ended, and if it's equal to some of these reasons, this means that the call was not answered and it was a voicemail. So either it will be a customer busy. Let me copy it and paste it here. Contains. Okay, and also I will copy this one. I will add an or. Click on or and add another reason. I will import the same thing. I will search for the ended reason. Yes, here is it. The ended reason contains again the same thing. Inbound webhook message ended reason unknown error. The same thing. I will add an or. I will choose ended reason. Voicemail. So if there is one of those reasons, then this means that the call was not answered or it's a voicemail. Okay, so if it's not the case, then what we need to do is we need to add them to another workflow, which is AI follow-up calls for no answered workflow. Since we didn't create the workflow yet, so we will not do this node yet, unless after I will create the automation and I will create it with you. Okay, so I will just add a node. So let's name node, add node, and here is an example of what we can say. Yes, so I will just add this node. Okay, so we will have this the call ID, and also the status will be no answered. I will do save, and also we want to log this call into the CRM. So let log external call. So for the direction, it's an outbound. For the date, we don't need to do that. For two, so I will do this message customer, and I will click on number. The from number, it will be the phone number that we use to call. So let's go to the phone numbers. It will be this one. Okay, so I will put it here. Okay, for the call status, it's no answered. Let me copy this. no answer. Okay, and save action, save. And also we will need to add another node, which will be add to another workflow, because it will, this lead that did not answer needs to go to the another automation, which is the AI follow-up calls automation. Okay, so now let's continue on this path. The first thing, let's again log the call. We need to log the call. It's an outbound, date for the two, the same thing. Let me choose customer, click search for the customer here, customer and number. This will be automatically replaced by the customer phone number. For no, it's not here. From to, it's two, and the from will be the same number here. So let's save this. I will copy again the number. For the call status, it will be answered because it was it answered the call. Okay, so now I need to link the URL so we can listen to the call inside the CRM. We need to link the URL of the call, okay? Because you know, Vapi, after each call, it records the recording of the call and it gives us the link to that recording. And now we need to map that link to GoHighLevel so it can so we can automatically listen to the call inside our GoHighLevel. So let's go to the inbound epoch trigger message. Let's go to recording URL. Okay, and you'll be good to go. So now the next step is we need to create another automation for follow-up calls. So I will go back to workflows and create another automation. So on this automation, let's name it, let's choose the same name. Follow-up calls for no answered. So how we want this automation to work is once the lead is sent to this automation, we want the first thing to wait, okay? We want the lead to wait until the next day so we can call him again. So we will name it wait. Let's take this as an example. And we will have a window to call him. So we will not just call him on a random time. So we can have, let's wait for 1 day. But we will not execute this on this specific window, for example, between Monday to Friday and on a specific time. Okay, so I want the first follow-up call to be at the morning. I want it to be between 9:13 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. So I will do the same. I will do 9. Let's search for 9 to 10:13. Okay, so now let's save this, save action, and let's save. Okay, so then we want to just replicate this. So we want again the drip mode, the same thing as we did on the initiate call automation. So if we go back to workflows, and let's click on this one, initiate AI call. Let's also open this one. So we need again to do the nodes that are responsible for calling the leads, the same thing that we did on the initiate AI call. So I'll just copy all actions from here, and let me go here, and I will just paste it below. Okay, now we're good to go. So I just need to adjust something. This time on the phone number, we don't need to format the phone numbers because it's already formatted. So what I will do, I will remove this and I will do custom values, contact, I will click on phone. The same thing here. The same thing here. Contact, phone. I was sending the phone number 2 times. I didn't know that. Okay, so let's just remove this and let's save action and save again. Okay, so now this is we are waiting for 1 day, and we will be repeating the same things for 7 days, 3 days, on whatever you want. So for example, let's copy all actions from here and paste them here. So now it will wait for 1 day, and then it will call him for the other day. It will wait for another day. And you will say to me, okay, Hussein, but what if on when we call them here, the prospect like answered the call? So we will be automatically removed. It will be automatically removed on this automation. And how we do that? So let's first save this. Okay, so now I've showed you like how to do it for 7 days. So you will just need to copy this and paste it again. And if you want to call them on different times, you can change this, for example, this time on 11 a.m. Okay, instead of 9 a.m. So let's do 11 a.m. for example. So I want to call him between 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. Yes, for example, like this. Okay. And you can change the time, and I get now you understand the idea and how to do it. So let's save and also publish. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do is I will go here to the process called automation, and on here what I will do, if it was no answer, if there is no answer, then we need to add them to the workflow. Add to workflow, and I will choose the workflow that I've added. Okay, so let's do it. Save action. Okay, so and I will name it. Let's name it the same name as here. Okay, so if it was no answer, then we will add them to this automation. But if it was answered, we need to remove them from the automation. Okay, so let's remove them from the workflow, not the current workflow, another workflow. Now I will remove this, and I will type AI call follow up. Here is it, and that's it. I will just change the name, remove from, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so now let's save this. Yes, so now let's say on here when we've called them the first day and it did answer, then this automation will work, and we will find that it answered the call, then it will be automatically removed from this automation, or from this from this workflow. The next thing is we need to have the notes. We need to have a note about the prospect or about the call. And let's just copy what I already have here. So let me select all and paste it here. So as you can see here, we can like have the phone number, or yes. So for example, the agent name, like the real estate agent name. If we already send that data from the CRM, we can do that, but we don't need it on this case. So we just have the name of the prospect. We will have the address. So I will just remove this and put the address. Okay, so let me go to the message. Let me go to the assistant and go to the variable values. Here is the address. Okay. Okay, again, the same thing for the phone number. I will just keep it like this. It will be automatically filled with the contact phone number. And I will remove this appointment. Also this. Okay, so for the keynotes, I will just remove this and click again on the inbound webhook trigger. You will find it here. Click on it, message. Now this time I will go to call analyze. Let me see what I can. Okay, so this is analysis, structured data, and here we can find all the structured data, and you will just map them here. For the notes, I will do the notes, and I will do the same thing for the others. We'll have the same thing for the challenges, the same thing here, more context. So I don't really need more context, but I need the motivation to sell. Motivation to sell. So this is the data extracted from the AI from the call of the prospect. Okay, so let's say, for example, the prospect mentioned some motivation. It will be automatically be replaced here on the notes. Okay, so let's click on this, not the model, sorry. Message analysis, structured data, motivation to sell. Okay, and with the same process, we will do all the structured data, and we will just click on save, and this will be automatically. It will automatically add the notes on the contact information. Okay, so now I think we've finished everything. We have the process call data, we have the AI follow-up for no answered, and also we have initiate AI calls. So now what we will do is we will do a full testing of all of this. Okay, so now let's do an end-to-end testing. Okay, now let's do an end-to-end testing of the whole solution. Okay, so the first thing, if you remember, on the Vapi or on the n8n, we have two URLs, the test URL and the production URL, and I will show you what is the difference. So if we click on execute workflow, like we just want to test, so we need to give it the test URL to Vapi so we can test. But on the production URL, like we need to have the workflow active, and then we need to take the production URL and copy it and go back to the tools. And instead of the test URL, we need to put the production URL. I've already did it, so I will just do it again, and let's save. So now we are good to go. So now since now the workflow is active and Vapi is using the production URL, so everything it will work good. Okay. One other thing, if you remember that on the contact ID, I've just mapped my own contact ID. But normally what should be done is we should take the contact ID from the informations that Vapi sends us while executing the function. Okay, I will show you how to do that, but I first need to run the solution or do an execution so I can have the contact ID here, so I can just map it. Okay, so let's do a test and let's see how everything works. Okay, so I will go to initiate call, AI call again, and let's test the workflow. So as I said, you can have for example, you can have different triggers. For example, if you want to add a tag, or for example, if you want to connect a Facebook ad node, or if you want to connect your Facebook ad form. For each one that fills out your Facebook ad form, then this automation will automatically be executed, and the lead will receive a call. Okay, so now let's do a test to the system and see how it works. I've sent now the call. I'm receiving the call. Hello.
Thanks for picking up. Hello, this is Sarah calling on behalf of your local real estate expert about your request for a free home evaluation from our Facebook ad. Does that ring a bell?
Not really. Can you please explain, give me like more context so I can understand what this is about? Because I've filled out a lot of forms. So can you please remember me of what is this?
No problem at all. You filled out a quick Facebook form asking for a free property evaluation for your home. It's purely informational and there's zero obligation. Does that sound familiar?
Okay. Yes. So how that home evaluation works?
Absolutely. It's a quick, no pressure review of your home's value based on recent sales, market trends, and your property details. Then you get a clear price range and next steps if you want them. Would you like to start with a short phone consult or have our expert come by for a quick visit?
I would prefer to have first a call with the agent, then we can schedule a visit.
Got it. A quick call first is perfect. Could I grab the address you had in mind for the evaluation?
It's 123 Main Street.
Got it. Let me confirm. 123 Main Street. Is that correct?
Exactly, yes.
Great, thanks. Have you done any renovations or improvements in the last 5 years?
Not really. Just some improvements on the backyard.
Got it. Are you currently working with another real estate agent?
Nope.
Great. Are you thinking about selling potentially in the near future?
Yes, in about 4 months.
Got it. So about 4 months. What's got you thinking about selling? Any specific plans after the move?
I'm just thinking to downsize.
Absolutely. Downsizing in about 4 months makes sense. Would you like to start with a quick phone call tomorrow with our local expert?
Yes?
Let me check that for you.
Okay.
Sorry, a few more seconds.
Okay.
Sorry, a few more seconds. Thanks for waiting. I can do tomorrow at 9:30 in the morning or 4:30 in the afternoon. Which works better for you?
The afternoon slot is good for me.
Let me check that for you.
Okay.
Sorry, a few more seconds. Got it. I've locked in tomorrow at 4:30 in the afternoon for your call. Would you like a confirmation text or a calendar invite?
Yes, I would like that. Okay, thank you so much. So now, as you can see, the agent has booked an appointment with me. If you go to the executions, you can see that it was executed. And also, let's go to my contact so as we can see everything that was logged on my contact. Okay, you can see the call recording, you can see the appointment was booked, and all the other informations. So let's open this. So here's the appointment that was created. It's at 4:30 p.m., the exact time that I booked in, and also we have the call was logged here, okay? And also if we go to the notes, here's the notes, and this is the motivation to sell in, it's downsizing, the challenges, the keynotes, the name, the address, and everything. Okay, and by the way, for this format, we can like change it on whatever you want. You can define what is the exact thing that you want to extract from the call data from here, okay? On the assistant, if we go to the real estate, if we go to the analysis, and we go to the structured data, you can extract as much data as you can from the conversation. And yes, so that's it. Let me show you also. You can see that here. You can listen there, okay? You can listen to the call inside your GoHighLevel. You can see the appointments created, and also you can see all the notes about the call.